Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's 2026 if you can believe it. I know I've been gone a while, but I'm back, and as usual I will be continuing this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Imagine, I know I've been doing some videos discussing certain principles that come up in chapters of this book, and I had stopped for a while, but I am back here, and hopefully hopefully by this year I'll have finished reading this book. Don't judge me. Anyways, let's continue. So right now I'm in chapter 8, and it is the chapter about decision, and its subtitle is The Mastery of Procrastination, the seventh step toward riches. So there's like a saying that's written before the actual chapter begins, and it reads, success requires no explanations. Failure permits no alibis. Um, Immediately getting into this book, something that into this chapter, I love this thing where it says, analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and of changing these decisions slowly if and when they were changed. People who fail to accumulate money without exception have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and of changing these decisions quickly and often. So immediately, I just doing a personal inventory in my life. I felt like, I was a hit dog with this statement, because I fall into this trap of like procrastinating. And of course, the reasons for procrastination have, for me, has changed over time. Like when I was a younger girl, when I was like, a teenager, when I was a young lady, and I'm still a young lady, but I'm an older young lady, if that makes sense. Now it makes sense. And right now, where I'm at, my reason I think for procrastinating is because I want everything to be perfect. I don't want to make mistakes, but then the freedom, or something that is shifting as I read this book, my perspective is that things don't have to be perfect. You don't have to wait to act when things are perfect, because you will waste too much time. And also, lessons, failures are not like devastating as they will be if I look at them as lessons that I learn, expensive lessons. And sometimes you have to be willing to pay the price to get to where you're at. So the price that I'm paying, I think that I'm allowing myself to pay, is failing and learning from the failures, and finding a way to look at failure positively and not like, oh my gosh, a big blunder that I will never recover from. So I think how I'm going to shift my mindset now is like analyzing the things that I need to analyze properly, doing research. And I don't think, I'll put a disclaimer footnote, is that it's not telling you don't do your research. Of course, conduct all the research, be knowledgeable in whatever it is that you want to pursue, and like actively learn along the way. Not just saying, oh, leaving it to chance and say, oh, it'll work out anyway, without a plan. Like without a guide to lead you. You need a guide, right? But to actually go ahead and execute once you feel like you've done everything that you could to acquire the knowledge to pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue, and you've made a commitment to educate yourself and accept that failure may be a part of the process. And when you do make up your mind, you make up your mind quickly, and once you're sure that this is what you want to do, you don't change your mind. If it fails, and you fall flat on your face, you can be able to recoup. Comment in the section. Drop a comment below if you also have in the past, when you look at your life, you come to decisions slowly and you change those decisions quickly and often. Let me know if I'm the only one or not. Might I add that he gives examples of people who um, make decisions quickly and change them slowly. And the example he gives is Henry Ford, when he made this model of a car that advisors and consumers weren't really a fan of, sorry, and asked him to change, like, the model and everything. But then he stuck to his guns and he was just like, you know what, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And and then he delayed changing the model or running that model until he had made significant amount of money, and then significant amount of money on that model, and then that's when he changed his mind. One thing I do want to say is that Napoleon does give good examples of situations that he's talking about. I might not be able to cover everything in detail. I might omit some things and I might add my own things. But if you want to know word for word what he says, I encourage every one of you to just read the book Think and Grow Rich. And I also, maybe I'll put that footnote at the end of my video. All right, so the next subtitle, and that's what another thing that I like about this book is that it the subtitles really help in organizing notes, thoughts into bite-sized pieces that you can consume, and they will take you a long way. So here we go. The majority tips on making your own decisions. The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. They permit the newspapers and the gossiping neighbors to do their thinking for them. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon anyone who will accept them. If you are influenced by opinions when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking, much less in that of transmuting your own desire into money. Another trap, especially if you come from like a large family or a society where you're always sharing ideas or people are asking you what's going on in your life. Everyone will always have an opinion. If you are influenced by the opinions of others, you will have no desire of your own. I remember having this discussion about um, being yourself with my daughter, and I remember telling her, if you always care about what other people think of you, you will stop being yourself. You'll just become like a mosaic of other people, and you'll be so confused. You won't even have any identity. um, Keep your own counsel. When you begin to put into practice the principles described here by reaching your own decisions and following them, take no one into your confidence except the members of your mastermind group, and be very sure in your selection of this group that you choose only those who will be in complete sympathy and harmony with your purpose. I totally agree with this about taking no one into your confidence except the people who like actually are supportive of you and will help you achieve your goals. Because first of all, not everybody is supportive of you, even though they're familiar to you. Different people have different goals and different perspectives on life, business, politics, whatever it is. And so there, and not everybody wants to go that journey with you. Everyone has their own struggles, everyone has their own successes. So I feel like sometimes it's just better to stick with the people who you're aligned with. And where he talks about your mastermind group are people who have knowledge in whatever it is that you want to pursue, and or people who can help you achieve those goals. Yeah, close friends and relatives, while not meaning to do so, often handicap one through opinions and sometimes through ridicule, which is meant to be humorous. Thousands of men and women carry inferiority complexes with them all through life because some well meaning but ignorant person destroyed their confidence through opinions or ridicule. I think that just speaks for himself itself, and that's why I say just because someone is familiar to you does not mean that they're supposed to go on this journey of um, whatever it is that you want to pursue in life. And in this case, how to get rich doesn't mean that they're supposed to be there with you because they don't understand you. And if they don't understand you, they're not going to be effective supporters, cheerleaders, or helpers. And if you don't understand that, you're just going to be in the same group. Sometimes some people don't want to see you do better than them also. So you have to be mindful of that. There's this saying in Kiswahili that goes kikulacho kinguoni mwako. So word for word, it just means that which eats at you is in your clothing. And the meaning of that is the thing that is being a stumbling block, an irritant, or delaying you from living a calm and peaceful life is that which is very close to you, not necessarily like physical distance, but also which is close to you in your heart, like the people that you trust, your friends, your family, your boss, your neighbors, blah blah blah. You have a brain, I continue, and a mind of your own. Use it and reach your own decisions. If you need facts or information from other people to enable you to reach decisions, as you probably will in many instances, acquire these facts and secure the information you need quietly without disclosing your purpose. So, encouraging you to just train your brain how to think. And I think also for me, this is something that I am learning to trust myself. It's good to trust other people, but it's not good to trust other people more than you trust yourself. And if this is something that rings true to you, I think I encourage you this year to come into the practice of learning to trust yourself so that you don't give up on projects, don't give up on business ideas, don't give up on whatever financial goals you have because you're trusting the opinions of other people and not trusting yourself. So every day reaffirming yourself, and something that I tell myself is, even if I don't fully trust myself today, I am going to work every single day to become a person that trusts herself. That is who I want to be. I want to be a person who trusts herself. And one day I will become that person. So, whatever you do, whatever your words of encouragement are to yourself, you can let me know in the comments if you want to share. And if not, it's okay, you can keep it to yourself, but then make sure that that is something that you're working on. It is characteristic of people who have but a smattering of or a veneer of knowledge to try to give the impression that they have much knowledge. Such people generally do too much talking and too little listening. Keep your ears and eyes wide open and your mouth closed if you wish to acquire the habit of prompt decision. Those who talk too much do little else. If you talk more than you listen, you not only deprive yourself of many opportunities to accumulate useful knowledge, but you also disclose your plans and purposes to people who will take great delight in defeating you because they envy you. Okay, that last part I know is that last sentence is something that we're all familiar with, but the thing that I keep looking for pieces that are not too familiar to me so that I can grow. Because sometimes when you how you stop growing is by focusing only on the things that you know or the things that are familiar to you. So I'm teaching myself to listen to the things that I I haven't heard too much, but are like gems, and taking time every day to like, sit, pause, and actually think about it. So the thing that struck me was keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed. I'm telling you, this is a lifesaver. I used to feel like I'm a person who just needs to share, 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 share. And then what I ended up finding out is like, me being authentic does not mean that other people are going to be authentic back to me. And it doesn't mean that they care about me, it doesn't mean that they love me, it doesn't mean that they want to see me progress. So I just learn how to first study whoever it is that I am in conversation with. I kind of learn what makes them tick or see who their real personality is or see who they really are before I can open up. I am friendly, I am courteous. However, I am also reserved and quiet. And when I feel like, oh, okay, you get the green light, you meet all the check marks, that's when I can start opening up to you. Um, and also putting my money where my mouth is, not just talking, because talking is free, but doing is not. I continue reading. Remember also that every time you open your mouth in the presence of a person who has an abundance of knowledge, you display to that person your exact stock of knowledge or your lack of it. Genuine wisdom, I love this part, and it just speaks for itself. Genuine wisdom is usually conspicuous through modesty and silence. The younger me used to, want to contribute intellectually to a conversation or show people that, yes, I'm moving with my life, I'm doing this. So part of that is running my mouth. And like, I feel like that was a way of me validating myself that I'm actually smart and everything. But then now that I've grown up, I'm okay that with this fact that I may not be the smartest person in the room, and it's okay if I'm not. And I'm also not the dumbest person in the room. And learning that there's different levels of intelligence, different kinds of intelligence, I should say. One person can be intelligent in politics, another can be intelligent in business, another intelligent in um, physics, mechanics, the laws of nature, religion, history, science. But then you also have someone who's intelligent in like reading the room, reading people, social interactions, hair care, grooming. Um, Let me think of other underrated things of like cooking, of like housekeeping, or like gardening, fishing, skiing. So it doesn't mean like you're the dumbest person just because you don't have the common or general intelligence, if you get my meaning. So now I'm more chill. I'm more confident in myself because I know who I am. So I just, and by the way, this didn't happen overnight. Sometimes you have to force yourself to be quiet. I had to learn how to force myself. Even still today, sometimes I feel like that itch that I need to talk and say something. And then it's like, girl, keep it to yourself now. Be quiet. Hush now. Okay, I continue reading. Keep in mind the fact that every person with whom you associate is, like yourself, seeking the opportunity to accumulate money. If you talk about your plans too freely, you may be surprised when you learn that some other person has beaten you to your goal by putting into action ahead of you the plans which you talked unwisely. Let one of your first decisions be to keep a closed mouth and open ears and eyes. As a reminder to yourself to follow this advice, it will be helpful if you copy the following epigram in large letters and place it where you will see it daily. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. So, this is something that you need to make a mental note of. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. Like, ain't that a word? Ain't that a gem? This is the equivalent of saying that deeds and not words are what count most. Just, I don't know if this is an overshare, but just something that happened, I remember to me, right? It's like, I had this, no, I think that would be too much of an overshare. But we all know it, and it's, by the way, this thing is not related to money. It's mostly also related to like your personal things or your business goals. It's like, for example, if you want, okay, I can give an example that I've seen other people do. There's this person who saw this piece of land in this area, and they were selling, it's like, like pre-sale of lots where you could buy a piece of land and then you have people like develop that piece of land and build like a house and everything. So this person was interested in that idea. They had the money and everything, but then they wanted the opinion of their father. So they ended up telling their father about this plan, and they wanted to see if the father approved of it, and also if they could contribute money to buy more lots so that they could live there, like have houses for their children or live together somehow as a family group setting. So the father went there, saw that piece of land and everything, and was like, I don't think it's a good idea. And they gave their reasons for why it wasn't a good idea. So this person ended up not purchasing those lots of land. And by the way, note that sometimes the money that you have doesn't always last forever, right? If you don't put it to good use, if you don't put it to use in one place, it's going to go to use in another area. So that piece of land went. Those pieces of land went. She could have afforded at least one lot, but she wanted to secure like two more lots or an extra lot with the help of her father or with the advice or counsel of her father. So anyways, that money ended up being redirected somewhere else. And wouldn't you know it, a few, not a few years, many years later, after she had let that land go, she found out that her father had bought land in a place very close to that place that she had looked into. So their father had land, but then now his daughter didn't have land. And now that piece of land, trying to afford to buy a home there is just like, you know how inflation works. So now that she cannot afford to buy that land anymore. So that's just a story for you. Kikulacho kingoni mwako. I think I have to stop here for now. I'm not done with the chapter, but I have other obligations that I have to attend to, and I do not want to be late to that. And I also don't want to rush into this chapter. I want to do a good job, so I'm going to stop there. And hopefully, there will be a part 2, if not by the end of this week, next week. So, thank you if you have stayed tuned. If you have stayed tuned this entire time, I hope to catch you on the next one. If this video helped you, please don't be shy to drop a like and also to share it with someone you think this message will be valuable to. If you don't want to share and you want to keep it to yourself, watch it as many times as you need to. And also, I encourage every single one of you guys to purchase this book. It is a good investment. It's not too costly. If there is a book that you need to read in your life that I would recommend, I would definitely recommend reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And by the way, these are just my thoughts. I don't mean to like steal anything from him. I just read and share from personal experiences and react to whatever it is that I'm reading. So thank you, and I hope you are blessed by this video. See you on the next one.